We did it. We made it. It is finally over. Ladies and gentlemen, we have officially completed G1 Climax 30 and have crowned our one. What an incredible finale and month-long, 19-day event-long tour this has been. As we now look forward to what's to come next in New Japan Pro Wrestling and our G1 Climax winner. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good night, good afternoon, konnichiwa to you all. My name is Noah Foster, and I'm just a simple man. And welcome once again for the last time this incredible event to the G1 Climax 30 Simple Review Special. No preview, because this was our finale. This is officially my last G1 Climax 30. Simple take. Solo, I might add. It has been an incredibly long, strenuous, as I watched every day live, as I come to you now, 2:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, October the 18th, to now bring you my thoughts overall on today's finale and what I think might be to come as we head towards Power Struggle, Best of Super Juniors, and the World Tag League, and bigger things to come too that were specially announced. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into today's action, because again, it was a loaded day and I see a lot of foreshadowing of things to come. As we start off today with nothing but tag team showcases and faction warfare, as our first match had 8-man tag action as Team Chaos took on Team Suzuki-gun, as Toru Yano, Yoshi-Hashi, Tomohiro Ishii, and Hiroki Goto took on my boys in Suzuki-gun, my faction. Dangerous Tigers, Zack Sabre Jr., Taiji, the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, I might add. The returning Desperado, one half of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, and Dukai. This was a wild start, as I expected, with all Suzuki-gun matches. Not to mention the fact that, of course, the very opener of our show was the Holy Emperor, welcoming us in with his magnificent voice. Rocky, you're wrong. Don't disrespect the Holy Emperor's performance. And kudos, by the way, of course, to English Coming, who's been with us on these last 3 days, really have given us a much more positive and recognizable vibe for us here in America, as we can understand what's being said, with some subtle humor and great and tasting insights too. I like how they also said there were some special watchers also, including Taylor Wilson. I remember that awkward comedian from AGT. I respect his talent and I respect his character. So hey, I'm glad to see that he's also a fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So my respect to you, Taylor Wilson, and maybe we can do a video someday. Well, I'm sure you're busy enough, you know, and I'm awkward enough too. So anyway, as this show kicks off, we see other junior heavyweights, of course, coming back as we look towards Best Super Juniors. There's no doubt in my mind that we're going to see El Desperado in Best Super Juniors. Maybe Dukai as well. But it looks like we got some foreshadowing of what's to come here too, as all faction warfare broke out here. By the way, Liger looking very sharp from the Japanese commentary side. Taiji and Ishii, they of course kick us off. You know what to expect with these two. Physical brutality and violence and kicks. Got a bunch of that sort of action as well. And it's nice to see Taiji basically walking under his own power, sort of, until I saw at one point they literally collapsed. I like how they also mentioned we finally got a count, and apparently, according to my knowledge, I don't think this is more chops than really Hiromu Takahashi's match from a physical aggression standpoint. And again, that was only one aspect of their match for like the first 5 minutes. While this match, of course, I'm talking about Taiji vs Kota Ibushi, was nothing but 98% all kicks, and apparently there was 158 total kicks between the two in that match. Holy hell, how are both men walking? How are their legs working? And again, I truly believe those two will never be the same again. As this match continues forward, Zack Sabre Jr. and Toru Yano, they renew hostilities from the G1 match, as Zack Sabre Jr. did outsmart Toru Yano and beat him via submission. It looks like the Toru Yano was going to go for the turnbuckle pad. Apparently, it wasn't William, it was Wally. Wally? With a Y? I don't know. You be the judge. But anyway, as he tries to go for Wally, Zack Sabre Jr., he basically puts Wally back in the corner, literally, tries to tie him up. And eventually, Wally, he does get pulled out. But then we talk about Zack Sabre Jr. and his knot techniques. Maybe he was in Boy Scouts, apparently. Boy Scouts. I never was involved in that. I could tie a pretty good knot. I think I tie a pretty good tie knot as I come home from church. Again, folks, when I record videos on Sundays, more likely you're going to see me in a suit. What can I say? I dress for occasions. And there's no bigger occasion, I think, than G1 Climax finale. But also, of course, church, you gotta look professional, look for the Lord. Anyway, I digress. We're going off the rails. As this match continues, all hell breaks loose, things break down. We get Dukai in the ring, and usually you know how this goes. Dukai is usually the fall guy, but it's also Yoshihashi at this point. And both Yoshihashi and Dukai, they are duking it out until Suzuki-gun, all hell breaks loose, faction warfare on the outside, physicality, and as most of Team Chaos was controlling the outside, the tag team champions come into play, and we literally get the Sack Mephisto by Zack Sabre Jr. and Taiji, and allows, and I believe this is a first too, it allows Dukai to get the win for his team. So not only has Dukai claimed pretty much his first ever pinfall win, even in tag team action, on New Japan Pro Wrestling, but he pinned 1/3 of the 6 men never openweight tag team champions. And apparently that's foreshadowing what Dukai, I think, wants now, as Suzuki-gun has most of the gold. It looks like Dukai finally wants to pursue the 6-man never openweight titles. Now, there's no telling which two from Suzuki-gun he's going to pick. Is he going to pick Yoshinobu Kawamaru and El Desperado? Is he going to pick maybe Taiji and Kawamaru? Is he going to pick the King maybe and Zack Sabre Jr.? There's a infinite possibilities to the combinations that he might pick here. And apparently, as I learned later, this continued backstage with all Chaos and Suzuki-gun brawling like hell. So it's not surprising with the press conference coming up literally within 12 hours that this gets announced towards Power Struggle, a 6-man never overweight championship match between Dukai and 2 partners was choosing versus Ishii, Godo, and of course Yoshihashi, who unfortunately ate the fall here. I thought this was a really good, fun, competitive opener, post-match attack, and statement set by Suzuki-gun, who really has been in control this year, in my opinion. Very strong year for this faction, my faction. I'm looking forward to where this feud goes and what sort of tag teams might be involved besides tag champs as we head towards the World Tag League. I could see Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano getting involved in this thing again. They once were IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Just saying. But we'll have to wait and see. And as far as these 4, I don't see none of them involved in Best Super Juniors, okay? So get that out of your head. The only one that could really work is one we'll see later. We'll talk more about that later. Good, fun opener. Very competitive. Then we move on into 2-on-2 tag team action. That's Ticking Time Bomb. Hiromu Takahashi and his partner, Rampage Dragon Shingo Takagi. They took on the King, Kasaninare, current never-weight champion, I might add, and Minoru Suzuki, and the returning heel master, Yoshinobu Kawamaru. And first off, how happy is Hiromu Takahashi? 1, being back in the ring action. 2, costing Evil from winning G1Climax30 block. And 3, I think just overall, he just feels renewed. I think he feels maybe like, you know, vindicated in a way too, as he literally ran around the ring for a couple of times, just crazy wide eye as usual. Hiromu back to his unstable, normal, expected self for those that are fans of him. I thought it was entertaining to see. But of course, the King comes in. We get the Kasaninare, and all hell breaks loose immediately as Shingo and Minoru, they go right into each other, smack, damn, dab, renewing hostilities, because you know Shingo wants one thing, and that is his never-weight title back. As this match continues down the line, Suzuki-gun, they get control, Yoshinobu Kawamaru and Hiromu Takahashi, they took it out, and it looks like the number one thing on Hiromu's mind is Best of Super Juniors. So I think we got our first top-tier pick to maybe win Best Super Juniors 27. That, of course, is this year as well. And no doubt in my mind, the heel master, he will probably be involved in this too, and will more likely try to play spoiler against the Ticking Time Bomb. As these two continue to go in all-out faction warfare against each other, we then got the heavyweights involved as Shingo and Minoru, they met in the ring, and once again, Minoru tested Shingo's strength and will, most of the time Shingo falling short, especially after you just hear with the fact that you can't hear the audible noise of the audience, the impact bone to bone with Shingo and Minoru, my God. Anyway, as finally Shingo gets one move in, a pop-up DVD that finally slows down the King's momentum after nearly being put to sleep and almost cost out a power drive. Yoshinobu Kawamaru, he does come into play, and we once again got Hiromu, Yoshinobu Kawamaru. They basically were going at each other, and it looked like the King was set for Hiromu for Kawamaru to hit deep impact, which he does. I thought it was over here. No. Shingo comes in for the save. As this match continues, and Shingo controls the King on the outside, or who am I kidding? There's no control. They're just brawling with each other. But as he goes for the Satori special, Yoshinobu Kawamaru does, he misses the bottle goes flying, Hiromu takes advantage, and towards the end of this match, Hiromu hits Time Bomb and pins Kawamaru, building strong momentum towards his way, heading into Best of Super Juniors. As the LIJ duo here, pick up the win. Not to mention Shingo Takagi subtly talking to the King how I want that title back. And the King's like, okay, you know what? Come and get it. Come and get it. And it looks like this match, I feel like it's going to be set up for a power struggle, folks. But also subtly, it looks like Hiromu has aspirations for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Gold. I think he just wants all the Junior Heavyweight Gold in his opinion. He really cradled that belt as Kamaru literally thrusts it, throws it back into the ring. So what is Hiromu's endgame here? Does he want Ishimori? Does he want the tag gold? Does he want it all? Does he want both? We'll have to wait and see. But it's good to see Hiromu back in the ring. And right now, things looking up for LIJ when it comes to taking on Suzuki-gun. Like I said, going into what I think is going to be a leading story in Wrestle Kingdom, LIJ and Suzuki-gun faction warfare among title matches. And I think Power Struggle is just the start of that. And what I feel is like an epilogue to everything that happened in Jingu Stadium. But we're just going to have to wait and see. So Hiromu just cradling the belt. That was pretty funny. All right. Moving on from there, we wonder, is everything in Bullet Club fine? As we have the NJPW main unit. Quite a foursome, too. Master Wato is back. I missed that guy. Teams up with Jeff Cobb, Juice Robinson, and of course, all of these people are led by the ace of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi, as they take on Bullet Club. Jay White, Kenta, Gedo, and the returning IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, Taiji Ishimori. Now, this was a little bit of an interesting match, but I have to say, why in the very beginning did we start with an ab-off? Seriously? This is what triggers my friends like Gina, and I suggest you follow her on social media for anything as far as physical attributes, great physical attributes, professional wrestling, but also some fun streaming and positive environments. And then other ones that, of course, answered my poll on Twitter. Yes, I made a poll because I was like, sure, why not? So shout out to @Jesse Panay, @BC is for live, and my friend @Gina.Leo2, and also @Renee Sergei for participating in this, as I basically put up, what do you think, folks? Who's got the better ab? We got an ab off here. Jay White and Tanahashi side by side. I feel like some people are like, don't make me choose. But then some people counteracted with Ishimori. And again, Ishimori, he's a guy that doesn't need to show off his abs. He just shows off what he does in the ring. This guy is truly incredible. With him, it definitely is reborn. So shout out to all those that gave their insights to, well, an ab-off, I would say. And it would not surprise me if this is like another bodybuilding showcase that maybe New Japan will do. Just saying. I still think Peter should have won the first one. But anyway, going off the rails. Sorry. As this match basically progressed, there was some subtle fun moments here. The Ace getting the early going into control as Kenta literally was like, hey, I did this to you. You remember this? Of course, we remember what Kenta did with the briefcase. Seemed like he was subtly smiling. Gedo, of course, coming in here looks very frustrated. Jay White seeming, of course, very calculated. And basically, as Gedo gets in the ring, gathers some advantage. Juice Robinson, he comes into play, turns things in the favor for his team. Not before Jeff Cobb, though, freaking throws Ishimori into the next time zone across the ring with that far away just throw. That was ridiculous. Jeff Cobb's strength and grappling hybrid capabilities is unbelievable and unmatched, in my opinion. Really has set him far so far in New Japan Pro Wrestling, too. Anyway, as this match continues, we look at Kenta and Ace, how they renew their hostilities, exchange a couple of offensive moves, and then all hell breaks loose. Things break down. We got Gedo and we got Juice in. Juice, of course, he comes in with the jazz. Looks like he's going to go for that kind of God. Boing! And then he just pokes the eyes of Gedo and literally just DDTs him. Then everybody comes in here. They pull off a power move and of course, Juice Robinson, he is annoyed at this point and literally is like, you really did this? And then just jabs people. Anyway, as we go towards the end of this really odd affair, who's the guy that is at the mercy of the NJPW main unit here? Gedo. And he gets destroyed by everybody. Hit in the corner, move for move for move. Master Wato, of course, showing off his incredible striking capability. And in the end, Gedo has no choice as literally these four control the ring, and he taps out to the Ace in the cloverleaf. And the Ace and crew wins. And basically, we got a couple of things here. One, Gedo, you're not very effective. Two, it looks like maybe the Ace might try and pursue Kenta for his IWGP United States Championship right to challenge certificate. As Kenta subtly points to this and says, I did this to your head. You owe me a freaking new briefcase. But I wonder who's going to pay for that bill. I don't think it's going to be Gato, and I'm damn sure freaking that's not going to be the Ace. As Watto, Juice, Cobb, and Ace all celebrate respectively at the top in corners, all four corners of the ring, giving a real Kodak moment, I feel like, to the crowd. They can't speak, but at least applaud and enjoy this moment as the Ace virtually hugs everybody. Good momentum for these four. And looking at this match, I could see Master Wato and Ishimori meeting up some point during Best Super Juniors. I could see Wato going after Ishimori for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. As of course, he is still led by Hiroyoshi Tenzan, who basically sees a lot of potential in Wato. I guess Tenzan more so is like a mentor now for Wato, excuse me. Juice Robinson, he had an incredibly strong start, but he says that he wants to do better than what he did this year. He hopes to see us in G1Climax31. We'll have to see what occurs for him between that time. He has another right, I believe, to challenge for Certificate 2 because he did beat also Kenta, so there's another one to consider. And then, of course, you have Jeff Cobb and Jay White, who have been all over the place, including NJPW Strong with this whole Bullet Club faction warfare deal. And we wonder how effective Gato and Jay White are together, and we're still wondering how that relationship's holding up. So a lot of things to really take away and consider here. Not a good start to Bullet Club here. So it was still a fun match. All right. Before I move into our next match, I want to add that we did get a special announcement before we go into our clean and disinfected break. They're doing it again. Next year, January 4th, January 5th, Wrestle Kingdom 15 will be a 2-night event. Holy hell, I can only imagine the stories, the matches, and the moments to come once again in this 2-day spectacle. And you know that day one's going to have implications towards what we're going to see on day 2. Whether or not it's going to be another double gold dash or maybe something completely redefined for even a different tile picture. And who knows who's going to be on the marquee when it comes to the main event. Only time will tell. What? King of Sports, New Japan Pro Wrestling. All right, so now that we got that figured all out here, action continues on this day now as we look at the rising rivalry of an Empire versus Chaos as we go into Show, the returning Show, nice to see him back, and Okada. They team up against Will Ospreay and making his NJPW debut, the Great Okan, and Bea Priestley was with them too, who, might I add, just won the vacant SWA championship from Stardom. More Stardom is mentioned during commentary. We have Stardom presence now with one of their titles and one of their top Genjins, I might add. Member of Oreo Tide. I don't know if she's the leader though, but boy was the Rainmaker pissed as this match got off to a fiery and furious start. As immediately Okada, he goes right after Will Ospreay and beats the hell out of him. So basically here, as I'm looking at this match and figuring about what's going on here, while Ospreay does regain control, and definitely Great Okan comes into play with those crazy, similar Mongolian type chops to Tenzan. By the way, I forgot to mention, that was subtly mocked earlier by Jay White, and he paid for it. Anyway, as this match continues, I like how they do talk about Stardom, and I'm going to talk more about Stardom after this match, about thoughts, what I think should happen, might happen, etc., and what I think about Stardom. Anyway, as this match progresses, it looks like Great Okan has this match fairly in control, and then Will Ospreay comes into play to pick the bones, tries to get the better of Okada. Okada gets the better of Ospreay, even locking in a money clip at one point. until via Priestley, she made her way involved via distraction. As Okada was fighting from under this point, he does find a hot tag to Show, and Show comes in like a bat out of hell. And literally, he takes control of this match. I thought he was very close to winning here until Ospreay got the better of him, goes for a hook kick but misses. Show goes for his shot girl finisher. It doesn't happen. And as we're in the ropes, Bia comes into play with the ref distracted and literally dragon screws Show's leg. Ouch. Which allows Ospreay to lock in, well, a figure four leg lock. And it looked like Okada was going to come in for the save until Great Khan came in with that big hand palm, pie facing him, and choke slamming him into the mat. So Show has no way now of getting out of this move. And to add further conclusion to this, Ospreay bridges, which forces Show to tap out. And literally following this, he holds the move for quite a bit of time, actually. And then he just adds further insult to injury as Okada is still basically taking out play here. Bia just watches on. Bia, Great Khan, Ospreay, they walk away, heads held high in victory. And we will see what's next for this trio and what's next for this faction to come that apparently is going to be called Empire. I can only imagine who's going to join this. Now, before I go into our match before our finale, I just want to say this. Stardom is part of Bushiroad. And of course, Bushiroad, Stardom, and NJPW are under the same umbrella. It's a partnership. I was wondering why we got the dark match at Wrestle Kingdom this year, but it was never shown. I don't even know if it's on Stardom World. I need to watch more Stardom too. Sorry, by the way, General Kiona. Once again, a faction you're part of, at least you didn't start this one, your faction's done. But I still think she has a very bright future. When I think about what could be happening here and the presence of the SWA title, and I think this is not going to be just one-off, clearly, Bea Priest is going to be much more in play. I honestly can see them maybe setting up, as some of my friends suggested on Twitter, maybe a mixed tag match or maybe a single women's title showcase or just a grudge match. I really do hope optimistically that we do get a Stardom match on Wrestle Kingdom. Even if it's pre-show, at least show us it. Expose New Japan Pro Wrestling viewers to Stardom. Both of you can thrive. Both of you can develop. It can happen. I would love to see Mayu Itami, for example, one of my all-time favorites, former Women of Honor World Champion, I might add, take on Bea Priestley for this title, or maybe renew hostilities with her former cohorts in Queen's Quest. Have Utami go after her, or Asume, or one of my all-time favorites, Momo Watabe. I'm just saying. And maybe there's still a teasing right now going on in Stardom regarding all of this too right now. But again, I haven't had time to really watch Stardom. I need to catch up. I'm not sure. Bottom line is this. Interesting developments are happening right now with Ospreay going basically full heel, even adapting to a different style. No hidden blade, no Stormbreaker, no Oscutter. He beat him with a technical finisher, a submission. Now, whether or not this leads to Okada and Ospreay at Wrestle Kingdom, where Ospreay finally gets the better of Okada, or we get like some sort of repeat of maybe last year's Wrestle Kingdom, which of course I'm talking about Wrestle Kingdom 13, where Okada lost to White, but then beat White emphatically later for the title. We'll have to wait and see, of course, as Will Ospreay is still the British Heavyweight Champion. Okada might be going after this title, I imagine. We'll have to wait and see. And I'm curious who else might come up here. Maybe Shota Umino will make a return and become part of Chaos. Shooter, just saying. I'm very optimistic, though, to this, and I do hope it leads to more Stardom presence in New Japan Pro Wrestling. At least more mention, if nothing else. But I say give Stardom a chance, give them an actual match for us to see at Wrestle Kingdom. And that's all I got to say about that for now. But again, we're going to have to wait and see. Okay, so now we move on to our match before our finale as LIJ and Bullet Club, I don't have a Bullet Club, they redo hostilities and they continue what's going on with them. As Bushi is back. Bushi. He teams up with Naito and he takes on Evil and not Togo, but instead Tokyo Pimp, which I find very interesting. Jiro Takahashi. But Togo, of course, he's still in Evil's corner because, again, that is his parade. Anyway, as this match slowly progresses, it seems, Bushi does get some great momentum going into here, even pulling off the Bushi-Rooney. And what I really was paying more attention here is how much Rocky basically kind of hates Bushi, but is kind of rooting for him against Evil, trying to be professional. Get that man some cookies. Make him happy again. That's all I got to say about that. I thought that was really humorous. Anyway, as this match goes towards the end, things were really in favor for Evil, of course, thanks to Dick Togo interference. And as we get to the end of the match, I don't really have much to say about this match because I know with Billington, I don't want to see it again. Scorpion deathlock, and the end, Evil locks up Bushi, forces him to tap. seriously, who was surprised? Okay, Bushi was the one that falls. Go figure. And Evil refuses to let go. Literally, everyone trying to get him off, and it just doesn't happen until Naito comes into play with some kicks. Finally gets Evil off Bushi. The two subtly go face to face. Evil looks confident. He looks unrattled. You wonder why. The Garrot by Dick Togo, and then in everything is Evil follow-up, and once again, Naito falls to Evil. And clearly, we're setting up once again for Evil versus Naito for the double gold. It would not surprise me if it happens at Power Struggle, because Evil did beat Naito in the G1, and now he's beating him here in this tag match, even though he didn't pin him. So get ready for the rematch, folks, whether you like it or not. And as far as Bushi, guy can't catch a freaking break, all right? He should have used the poison mist. Maybe he'll use that in Dick Togo's face at some point. I can see that happening at Power Struggle. Not much more to say on this match, sorry to say. Naito, you need to just leave Evil in the past, man. Good freaking grief. Now, let's get to the reason why we are here today at all this morning. Let's get to the reason we follow this entire thing. Some of you that are crazy like me, live for the last month. Day 19, the finals, the finale, as we finally crown and see who will be the one. Can Sanada make history and become, first time in his career, G1 Climax winner? Or can Kota Ibushi do what only two others have done and win 2 consecutive G1 Climaxes in a row? Not to mention the fact he's already made history, making it to the final now 3 years in a row. And speaking of history, who better to introduce us to this history than the freaking guy representing G1 himself? Masahiro Chono shows up and freaking just electrifies the place. Talk about how even in this pandemic era, we are not going to be held down. We are in JPW. We will continue to rise and fight, and we will stand as one. And he was very excited to see who will be the one as he joined the Japanese commentary. He looks great too. Man, the guy doesn't look like he ages at all. Maybe it's the sunglasses. But Chono, who we know is a multi-time G1 Climax winner, making history even beyond Hiroyoshi Tenzin, I thought it was a really cool moment to see him. Now, let's get into the match because, oh boy, was there a lot to digest. As Golden Star Kota Ibushi, our A block winner, took on B block winner Cold Skull Sanada. And this was it. Absolutely incredible back and forth, counter for counter affair. A subtle start that was slow, but Sanada clearly saw a target on Kota Ibushi, considering how many times his leg was kicked, not to mention the heavy tape, of course, on Kota Ibushi's leg. And he definitely tried to exploit that. Of course, Kota Ibushi, he did fall back still on his striking capability, despite what others might have said about his health and leg. And it did help him for a little bit. Things, though, of course, got into Sanada's favor. And literally, Sanada, he goes forward. Ibushi seemed to have been going slow. This match seemed to be going slow at times, too, considering what we have seen lately. Anyway, Ibushi was able to get some offense onto Sanada, and then the leg, though, it was really, really badly damaged. You could tell it was hindering him throughout this match. So his kicks probably weren't given as bad an impact as usually. And then we got a low angle attack with Planja. Then Sanada, he finally pulls off this cold skull to the delight of the crowd, gets the crowd on his side. This thing was going back and forth multiple times. There were near falls. I was like, he won! He freaking won! And then I look at videos that people posted like, are you kidding me? 2.98? That's freaking, that is actually possible to happen in freaking professional wrestling? Apparently. Anyway, as the hamstring literally almost caused Ibushi here as this match continued in Sanada's favor, and he literally traps him. He tries to basically get the better of Sanada, create some distance, including a double stomp on the apron. Ouch! There were some really bad, emphatic spots here. As this match continued, we literally reached a record again, making history. This is the longest G1 Climax final match, clocking in now at over 35 minutes. Anyway, Ibushi, he was trying to create a sit-out last right powerbomb. He could not do it as the leg, once again, it failed him. And this allowed Sanada, of course, to go for his own victory, including pulling out a TKO earlier on. Locks in, skull in again, and then he goes for the moonsault, but he misses. But then he basically connects to Ibushi's back and then goes for that other one, misses that as well. And then literally Ibushi, he falls up with knees There was one of two ways it was going to go, because we know how Sonata wins matches. Either he risks further damage with the knees and prevents the other moonsault, or he hits the moonsault and basically forces himself to lose this. Literally, as we look back for the O'Connor roll finisher, and somehow people have clocked in at 2.98. I couldn't believe it. Ibushi survived. We get some more counter for counter intuitive roll-ups. We go for a Kamigoye attempt. That gets denied. But a second one, though, as he tried to cross the arms, he just couldn't stop it from happening. There were so many incredible physical spots here, folks. Go rewatch this match. I rewatched it twice already. But to sum it up, ladies and gentlemen, your winner, 2 years in a row, making history now, and one step closer to really becoming what he believes he can be, God with capital G, our grade 1, our G1Climax30 winner was Golden Star Kota Ibushi in 35 minutes and 12 seconds. What an incredible war, affair, tour, and run for both of these men, and an instant classic. No shenanigans, no bullcrap, no interference, no Bullet Club hijinks, just pure wrestling to see who could out wrestle the other. And even with hindered leg, somehow Kota Ibushi, he pulled it off. He countered Cold Skull, Sonata's skull, and he did not give out to that. He did not give out to a TKO, and he did not let the dual moonsault combination get to him either. He didn't even let a modified Destino, which I'm surprised Sonata didn't go for in this match, get to him either. Sonata came so close, but once again in Ryogoku Hall, like last year in King of Pro Wrestling against Okada for the gold in the main event, he owns the match. This has to be a match of your candidate. He's probably crying tears though in the Ryogoku Hall, probably did. But he cannot be disappointed with his effort. Once again, proven how much he can lead New Japan Pro Wrestling. He just needs to push himself a little further. Came that close. But in the end, Golden Star Kota Ibushi prevailed, as Masahiro Chono celebrated with him in the ring, providing the trophy and the flag that, of course, represents the date and, of course, the winner, as the G in G1 stands for Grade 1. They're not the best. They're not elite. They're not above a different class. They are Grade A. Grade A winner, Grade A competition, Grade A professional wrestlers. That's what Masahiro Chono, Hiroyoshi Tenzin, and now Kota Ibushi stands as in G1 Climax history. The only men to ever do 2 consecutive G1 Climax victories, at least. What an incredible war. As, of course, Kota Ibushi, he leads us out, and he tells us what his aspirations are to take pro wrestling to the stratosphere, to take professional wrestling to that next possible era and eons beyond what it is now. As he tries to become God, he says he would never turn his back on us. He will not fail you. He will not deny you. And as he goes around the ring in celebration, everybody applauding and bowing. Liger, Milano, the ring announcer, I keep forgetting his name. I'm so bad about that. And of course, our English commentary from afar via Zoom. As of course I was as well. What an incredible match, moment in celebration as the confetti comes down, and that was it. Or was it? As we go backstage for subtle comments, and again, like I said, he didn't quit, didn't lose, didn't betray anybody. He goes to celebrate, he goes to talk to the media, until a face from the past shows up that gave him the worst possible start to this year. And possibly with how unpredictable this year has been, could give Kota Ibushi the ultimate worst closer to his year. As the Switchblade Jay White, he showed up, made his intentions known, he congratulates Ibushi, celebrates with him, with a drink, says cheers, but he said that he's not the real winner. I'm the real winner, and I'm going to take that from you because you know what you got coming. You got a briefcase, but you will not run away with this. I'm going to find a way to take that from you and go on to Wrestle Kingdom to finish creating my new era with me back on top. Because as you know, folks, it's not a free ride for the G1 Climax winner. They have to defend their certificate to challenge for the title at Wrestle Kingdom, or in this case, titles, against people that they lost during their G1 run. And we all know the first loss, I believe, that Kota Ibushi did drop was, of course, to the Switchblade Jay White. So there's a lot of different moving elements here. And with those way this year has been, we might witness more history, as again, so far, everyone has been able to successfully defend in 2 matches, I might add, following their G1 win, their briefcase and into Wrestle Kingdom. But what's funny is so far only one man has been able to capitalize on that briefcase, and that was Hiroshi Tanahashi against Kenny Omega, sorry folks, 2 years ago. So it makes me wonder right now, are we on the verge of more history? Can Jay White do what Tanahashi did, or excuse me, botch? Well, actually, no, I guess that could happen, because if Jay White beats Koda, he could do. But more so, can Koda continue that run of people that have successfully defended the briefcase? Or will he be the first to lose it before Wrestle Kingdom? Or will he successfully retain it? Will we see change in leadership in Bullet Club? Because I feel that's being teased. I feel there's a betrayal angle coming. And will we see Kota Ibushi 1 year later from the worst start get the best start to 2021 and become IWGP Heavyweight Champion, finally and truly becoming God with capital G? We're going to have to wait and see. But the bottom line is this. He has dropped losses. Kota Ibushi has to Shingo Takagi and Jay White. So there's no doubt both those men are going to come after him. But we know Jay White has never overweight aspirations. And it looks like the Ace, as far as Golden Ace goes, that's going to be on hold, because it looks like the Ace has aspirations to challenge for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship certificate. There's a lot of moving parts right now. And I'm sure more of this is going to be disclosed, unfold, and better told tomorrow morning, 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because guess what, folks? We're not quite done yet. It's time for an epilogue, as I like to call it, as we do have a press conference, of course, that follows the G1 as always, tomorrow morning. Tonight, 11 p.m. Pacific Time, October 18th for you West Coasters, me. While here in the East Coast, October 19th, 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and of course, 7 British Standard Time, we will see what is ahead as we are now on the road to Power Struggle, which will be this Friday. A nice reprieve, finally, but still, things are just beginning in all things New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's all I gotta say about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, we have done it. We have successfully made it through the G1 Climax 30. It was an absolutely incredible, one-of-a-kind, phenomenal event brought to us under the most bizarre of circumstances. And the fact that everybody in NJPW, the staff, the announcers, the workers, they all were able to pull this off for us. And we, the fans, were able to enjoy this together. It just goes to show how powerful it is when you are passionate as a fan or as a competitor in New Japan Pro Wrestling, or just in pro wrestling in general. I could not be more thankful, more blessed, and happy and humble to be a part of such an incredible wrestling community with all of you that join me in this incredible tour, live or on demand, or that I've come to know too. I cannot thank Japan Pro Wrestling enough for everything they've done. After everything all of us in our lives are constantly being put through. This was, as always, my most positive outlet of the year, and I cannot wait to see what lies ahead next in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Before I sign off, I just want to simply say this. Shout out to my constant watching Facebook Messenger NJPW Climax 30 party, Mark McGriff Reviews, Gina J, Suji, you all rock and are awesome people too. The final G1 Climax scores for us, we all horribly lost. But in the end, I really enjoyed this as well. Thank you, Sierra. Thank you, WrestleJoy, for this opportunity you gave to all of us professional wrestling fans. I ended with 104 points. Mark, you ended with 106. Gina, you ended with 100 even. Cindy, congratulations. You beat us. You got 116, and you even tied Amy. So you should be very impressed with your score and performance. And I imagine what was your first ever Joy1 Climax like me. It certainly won't be the last, but I look forward to kicking your butt again like I did this year at Wrestle Kingdom next year. Stay tuned. And with that, folks, stay tuned for more content on this silly YouTube channel regarding all things wrestling and NJPW too. I thank all of you. If you want to know more about me, know this. I'm just a simple man. And if you haven't figured out by now, I am a lifelong fan of ... wrestling. So please follow me. Instagram, Twitter, PlayStation at mfoster1916. Follow the simple YouTube channel here, youtube.com/C/NoFoss210 for all things wrestling. Shout out to my WWE family on Twitter. And Twitch as well. I'll be playing Sonic shortly for my Sonic Sunday specials I'm starting. It's nfoster191625. Until next time, you want to know more about this in the description down below, but I keep it simple for you. Support NoDQ. Support WrestleJoy. Support Team All Elite. Support the Primetime Predictions League. Support the Bullet Cast and my friend Cindy's podcast, Into the Stratosphere. Greg Cherry, Brand, Jeff Misha Network, our shirt. And independent wrestling in general, because that's the harvest to us as fans, folks. And as always, I like to close. Support your wrestling outlets, both big and small. And let's keep growing some incredible, diverse, unique, elite, authentic, unscripted, unrestricted wrestling community together. Simple as that. With that being said, I thank you all again so much for tuning in as always, or for your first time here. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Hit the bell to know the next video on this channel. Hit the subscribe button. Help me keep growing this channel. Shout out to all 169 that's been with me on this fun YouTubers Creators journey. It's not letting up anytime soon as we look forward to Power Struggle, Best of the Juniors, and more closely, Bound for Glory this coming Saturday and Hell in a Cell. A lot more wrestling content to come, and it's not letting up anytime soon. With more so gaming, streaming content to come too. Once another fast forward, who knows what's next. And with that being said, I think I about covered everything. So again, I thank all of you. And there'll be a special anniversary stream on my Twitch, actually. I'm going to start doing that on Twitch and maybe super chat on Twitch too, and channel updates to come this Saturday as well as I celebrate my 2nd year anniversary as a YouTuber. So until next time, where somewhere I will see you all in cyberspace, I hope you all take care, enjoy life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. Treasure your families and enjoy wrestling. There's more of it now than ever. Find some promotion, person, friend, rival, child's virtue, I dare you. Just find someone that connects with you. It's not impossible. You'd be surprised how easy it is to do. And again, be safe, be positive, find happiness in life or in wrestling. Treasure your families, create priceless moments, and look back on things that made you happy or brought you joy. I will see you all next time, and I can't thank you all enough again, but this is the Simple Man for the last time with G1 Talk, signing off until next time. Look again, yo. Sayonara.